Oh, just a real quick video experimenting with another chunk liquid core. Got these little butterfly charms, which that was not on my bucket list of things I thought I'd be buying as a middle-aged man, is butterfly fingernail charms. But I think this could be a really cool looking D20. I'm just kind of gluing these on with a UV based resin. But yeah, probably try to put this in the middle of a die sometime the next few days. We'll see how it turns out. But this is to show you one quick little thing. I just take a little butterfly, dip it ever so slightly in the UV resin, kind of stick it where I want it to go, and hit it with the light. Just a few seconds is all it takes. They're pretty good. Get another one of these guys, hit it from the other side, and that's pretty much all. And then I'll once I have them all on, I'll put it in my my 3D printer UV curing station. Let it run for like 5-6 minutes to get the UV fully cured on there. But then it'll be ready to be put in the middle of a chonk mold, and we'll see how it turns out. I'm a little worried that the butterflies might make it too big to fit into a chonk, but I guess we'll find out. So here we are a few days later, and I'm getting ready to test that chonk mold I made in the other video. I'll link it at the end of this one, where I was making my own dice molds. This is the one that I kind of cut it and split it on the side, and I didn't think it was going to be usable, but I thought, you know what, it's worth taking a shot with. So I thought I would use this butterfly liquid core that I made the other day, and we'll see how it works. So we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a smoke effect using the sky blue, a little bit of pink, and some yellow alcohol ink. We're going to just kind of drag it through the clear resin that I'm about to pour, and hopefully it'll evoke, feelings of erratic butterfly flight. But we'll see how it turns out. So I've got the clear resin poured, and now I'm going to take the alcohol inks and just put a few drops into each of these little silicone mini stir cups. So put a little sky blue, and then a little touch of pink. I've had some issues with pink turning out a little too red, so we'll see how this looks. And then ending with a little bit of the that yellow. I don't think I've ever used a yellow alcohol ink before. As you'll see in a second, I believe I have to take the little thing to open it up so I can even put some drops in. So yeah, it took me a second, but eventually, here it comes. I find the little pin thing that came with the alcohol inks to open up each individual bottle. So I get it so I can start pouring stuff out, give it a good shake, and then put a few drops of that down into this last little silicone stir cup. So we're going to start off with a little bit of this sky blue and just kind of swirl it in the bottom of this dice mold. I've noticed that the first swirl of alcohol ink when I try to do this method doesn't work very well. For some reason, once there's some resin on the toothpick, it starts to swirl better. So yeah, just doing a few swirls of the blue, and then we'll progress on to the pink and then the yellow. And so after swirling some color through there in the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and add in the liquid core with the butterflies that I made the other day. At this point, I was very thankful to actually have a split mold, because I don't think that thing would have gone in any other way. those butterflies kind of fragile. I feel like if I would have had to put that in through just a regular mold that wasn't split, they would have possibly broken off in the process. And once I've got the inclusion fairly well settled in there, it's time to pour a little bit more clear resin on top, at least part way up the sides of the mold, so I can continue to do the smoke effect down the sides of the dice. So one of the interesting things about doing something like this is that you can't really tell what you're doing on the side of the dice, if it's going to come out or not. You just kind of taking those toothpicks and swirling and hoping for the best. So yeah, there's a lot of kind of faith involved in dice making, that it'll no matter how well you do, it'll come out okay. And so at this point, we are topping up the mold with the rest of the clear resin, and then we're going back through one more time to do our last few streaks, and yeah, then we put a little the excess resin on the cap, and topped it up a little bit, and yeah, then we finish tightening the tape, and we hope for the best. So let's see how this D20 mold turned out. But I decided to give a chance to and try a couple different things on it as far as dice technique. Top looks fine. Flashing's a little thick, but not terrible. And let's just kind of pull this away gently and demold this. Okay, came out all right. Let's see, like I thought, there is that little bit of a crack there in the tube, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. That's actually not terrible. And a little bit of a thing there where it kind of cut through the facet, but I mean, I think that could be salvageable. As far as the look inside, the butterflies look cool. I like the swirls of color, and the liquid core. Hey, I'm not mad at that. That's my first chonk with my own logo on there. So we'll see how it looks after I have time to sand it and polish it. But I think this will actually be okay. I'm still going to make a new dice mold, obviously, with some little bit more forgiving silicone, but that's not terrible. You see the little butterflies and all the streaks of color through there to show kind of like the flying. That's what it's supposed to evoke anyway. But yeah, not bad. Well, after sanding and polishing it up, actually, it didn't turn out too bad. Like most of the lines I was able to get rid of, but it did require a lot of sanding to get it to that point. And I did notice that the 20 spot is a little bit concave, so I think the tape that was around the mold probably squished it a little too tight and bowed up those corners. So not really usable, but it looks pretty cool, and I'm not mad at it. As always, play more games, make more things, and build more community. We'll see you next time.